What's up, Hyperdrivers? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you my top 5 lightsaber companies that I buy from. Let's get to this. Welcome back to the channel, guys. In the last lightsaber video that I did, I saw a comment where someone was asking me what my top 5 lightsaber companies that I buy from. So I thought that would make a pretty good video, and that's what we're going to be doing today. If this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of talk of Star Wars on this channel. If you haven't already guessed it by the name of the channel, Hyperdrive, this is what we do. We talk about Star Wars. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you could jump to light speed every week with us right here on the Hyperdrive. So with all that out of the way, let's get started with the first lightsaber company. So first up, I don't have the electronics for every lightsaber here that I buy from, but most of them I do. So we're gonna have some little bit of lightsaber demonstration. If you're really interested in seeing more detail on the different lightsabers, I do reviews on every lightsaber that I pick up. So you're welcome to check out more of the videos on the channel. The very first company that I buy from that makes up the bulk of my lightsaber collection is the Galaxy's Edge Legacy lightsabers. Now, these are very affordable lightsabers. They run about $150 to $200 for a hilt, sometimes a little bit more depending on how many hilts come in a box. You have to purchase the blades separately, but the blades are interchangeable in between each one of the lightsabers, so that's pretty cool. You get like entry-level electronics, so you get a light up. You know, it has kind of like a step light up to it, but it has a gradual effect is what they're going for. You do get some sound. You know, you get some clashing effects and stuff that sometimes work. So you can see that it's very entry-level electronics that you get with it. But like I said, for $200 to $250 out the door, this is the most affordable lightsaber that they have on the market for the replica-looking hilts. Another thing about these lightsabers that I really don't like to collect for the thought of investment, but the legacy lightsabers from Galaxy's Edge are a very good investment lightsaber. And what I mean by that is that they're very difficult to get in the fact that you have to go to the park, and they have a limited supply online, but you really have to go to the park in order to pick up one of these lightsabers. So not everybody can afford to go to Disney, so that it makes it hard for them to get that. And then the other thing too is that Disney tends to discontinue the hilts. And when they discontinue the hilts, you see the price of these hilts go up in value a lot. So it's a great way that if you happen to pick up a second one for yourself for that thought that it may go out of stock, you may be able to sell off a lightsaber and then be able to buy yourself a more expensive, better version of the same lightsaber. So that's cool. The downside to these lightsabers is the electronics are spotty. Sometimes they work. You saw my clash effect there didn't actually kick off when I needed it to. And I have seen them fail, where that the electronics just stop working altogether. And at that point, you're kind of assed out. So that's the downside to these lightsabers. Another thing too is that they tend to be chunky. They're not exactly, they look like the replicas hilts, like you have that look of the whole Star Wars hilt, but they're not the right size. So they tend to be bigger than your normal or real replica lightsaber. So that's that. But again, this is a great way to bulk up your lightsaber collection if that's what you're looking to do. All right, and then next up is the Hasbro Force Effects Elite lightsabers. Now, they do make the Force Effects lightsaber. I'm not a big fan of those because you cannot remove the blade. The Force Effects Elite lightsabers allow you to remove the blade. They come with some upper level electronics, a little bit better than what you would get with the Legacy hilts. Not much better, but a little bit better. Some of them feature a removable crystal. You could change the color of the blades. Unfortunately, I do not have the blade for this one. It's in storage at the moment. The downside to these lightsabers are that the blades are not always interchangeable in between the different Force Effects Elite hilts. So that you tend to have a bunch of blades lying around. So that's why I put them in storage. I don't ever display mine with the blades. They're very easy to order. You can get them pretty much almost anywhere. You get them at Hasbro, Big Bad Toy Store, Target sometimes. I mean, they're really available all over the place, so you can order them. Sometimes they take a long time to get, like I'm still waiting on my Darksaber. Still haven't received that one yet. But it's a nice way, again, to bolster your collection of lightsabers by getting replica looking hilts, especially if you want to be a replica lightsaber collector. So this is a nice way to do that. Just like with the legacy sabers, they are chunky. They're big hilts, so not all of them are very accurate. In fact, most of them are not as far as the width of the sabers, but they have the look. So like if that's all you're looking for, the average collector is not gonna, or Star Wars fan that comes in is not gonna really pay attention to the size of your blade or your hilt that's sitting on your wall. So either way, they're still really nice looking blades. Like here's the Darth Revan lightsaber that I have in my hand right now. I also have the Palpatine. I have an Ahsoka Tano. I have a few of these. So they make for a pretty good way to bolster your collection. And they're not relatively expensive. The hilts themselves run between like $220 to like near $300, but you get the hilt, the blade, you get a display stand. Sometimes, like I said, you get the crystal to display along with it. So you get a lot of cool stuff to go along with your purchase. So it's not all a la carte like the legacy hilts are. So that makes these a pretty nice option. All right, so next up is a company that I just got into. This is Saber Forms. Now, Saber Forms is a custom lightsaber company. They make custom looking hilts. They don't make replica hilts. So if you're looking to get something replica, this is not your bet, but they do make some really nice looking, custom blades, or custom hilts. Now, cool parts about Saber Forms is the hilts are lightweight, they're thin, they have a lot of really awesome electronics for an affordable price. This one right here is a NeoPixel lightsaber, and I'm gonna turn it on right now so you can see the look of you got a real NeoPixel effect right there. You got effects like that, really nice sound. You got smooth swing. You get a lot of cool stuff with this saber. See if I could turn it off. There you go. You get a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff with this lightsaber for a relatively inexpensive price. Normally NeoPixel lightsabers run upwards of like $600. This one here is under $400 and you get a NeoPixel style lightsaber. You could change the color on the blade, you could change the sound fonts, you could change the effect sounds that they have as well. So you have a lot of nice stuff that comes with it for a relatively inexpensive price. So that's something I like about it. Also, another cool thing about these guys is they deliver faster than any other custom lightsaber maker that is out there currently. So that's another cool thing. You get your orders really, really quick. Downside to this lightsaber is that you don't get a clip to put on your belt if that's what you want to do. And then they don't have the options for replica hilts yet, but I heard that that's possibly coming. You do get everything else though. You get the blade, you get your sound fonts and everything, like I said, for under 400 bucks. That's really, really hard to beat right now when it comes to pricing. So this is a really cool option for you guys. They're called Saber Forms, and you can get to them on the link below. All right, the next two companies that I get my lightsabers from, I do not have electronics put in them yet. They're very expensive to get installed, so it's not something that I have been able to build up yet to be able to get to. But what I love about both of these companies is they make the most accurate and weighty and really cool to have in your hand lightsabers. Especially if you want the replica lightsabers from the original Star Wars movie. So these are the two companies that I go to for that. The first one is, this is Roman Props. So this, of course, is the Kenobi lightsaber. You can see the way that looks. I got it weathered. You can also get it very clean if you want to. It's customizable. They come hollow. They come completely solid. And you can have the option to get it installed by a third party if that's what you want to do. Roman Props doesn't offer a fully installed lightsaber. I would highly recommend, if you're going to do this, go to Solo Sabers to get your installs. The guy does amazing work. Jeremy is awesome. He gets back to you pretty quickly. He's good with communication, so that's awesome too. And you can get some really nice looking effects for your lightsaber if that's what you want to do. And that's what I'm going to do with this one when I get the opportunity to. But yeah, that's the way to go with this. So that's Roman Props. And then the other one is Korbanth. So this is the Anakin Skywalker, or what would be the Luke Skywalker lightsaber in the Star Wars movie, the original Star Wars movie. Korbanth, gives you the option to have these already installed. You can also have it with optional parts. So if you wanted to make it look like the version from Empire Strikes Back, you could do that. Or you can have it look like Rey's saber, you know, which happened later, which is still Anakin's saber, but you know, the one that Rey had in the movie. So you have that as well. You have options for the clips, and again, you can get it completely hollow like this one is, and then get it, you know, installed by a third party afterwards. That's an option as well. Both of these options, the reason why I grouped them together is because these are very pricey options. So that's the downside to it. A saber like this one right here is going to run you upwards of $300 empty, you know, and then you got to get all of the guts that you need to get it ready for the install, and that's not even including the install. So far on this hilt alone, I've almost got $500 already in it, just to be able to get it ready to have the actual electronics installed. And the actual electronics are going to cost even more than that. So by the time I'm all said and done, this is going to be like $1,000 lightsaber. But you do get that really nice weighty feel to the lightsaber, you know, and it really gives you that whole feeling of maybe what Kenobi felt like when he had the hilt in his hand. So that's why I went this route. So if you're looking for the most accurate A New Hope style hilts, and some of the other hilts too, because Corbanth makes other ones as well, I would recommend either Roman Props or Corbanth. And last on my list, but certainly not least, is Saberforge. So this right here is my Darth Bane lightsaber from Saberforge. You can see it looks pretty awesome. I love the design of this one. So Saberforge has a really good balance between quality and cost. It's a little more expensive than, say, buying from Saber Forms or buying from Ultra Sabers, but the quality level that I see from the parts is really nice. I really like the way they look. Very nice design. You also have some replica looking lightsabers. I wouldn't say that they're you know, completely accurate, but they're pretty close. So you have that option as well. But what I really like about it is the customization of the parts. You can take and buy these parts separately and make up your own hilt, which I think is really awesome. I love the weight and the feel of the hilt. The hilt feels really good in your hand. You can get electronics fully installed already from Saberforge. And you know, you have the options for NeoPixel, regular LED lightsabers. You can change the sound fonts. You can do all that cool stuff. And you have all kinds of different customization, like adding a Covertech clip or a D clip, or whatever you need to be able to mount it to your belt. You have lightsaber stands. You have charging ports, things like that. All kinds of cool stuff. You also have blade plugs and different kinds of blade plugs that you could take and put into it if you don't want to have the blade fully installed. Just like with all the other custom sabers, the blade can be removed. Or you can get it empty and, you know, and take it to a guy like Jeremy at Solo Sabers and then have it installed like I did for this one. So lots of cool options with that. Here's an example of what this looks like. So you can see, just look at the way that design looks. It looks pretty dope, right? And you have smooth, the way that it ignites. You have smooth swing. All right, you got effects, you know, and then you even have some music. That's really cool. So Jeremy definitely hooked this one up. Now, downside to buying from Saberforge is that it takes forever to get a hilt. I mean, a long time. You're looking upwards of 3 months sometimes to get a hilt. That could be because of the current status with shipping, you know, as it sits at the moment. But I've noticed that even before that point. So their shipping does take a long time. Customer service has slow response as well. So there's that. But otherwise, when you do finally get it in hand, I think it's a really nice option. And it's the option that I tend to seem to always want to go back to when I go to buy a hilt. They definitely do have some really nice stuff over at Saberforge. So that's it. That's my top 5, my favorite lightsaber companies that I go buy from. Let me know in the comments, what are the companies you buy from? What did you think about my assessment with these ones right here? Always interested to hear what you guys think in the comments below. And until next time, may the Force be with you.